leg for you. I'm like, oh shit. If other people were to hear me, they'd be like, you're evil.
Technician for Biomax.
So we've been working with them. Missy and I have been talking to them about tissue collection and all this other stuff. Middleman. Okay. Well, sorry to put you like that.
I don't mind. You know what? Middleman.
So you'll be seeing
the director of abortion services at Planned Parenthood.
So you'll be meeting. So you know how you call.
Yes.
Anne is actually the one that's in my clinic 3.5 days out of the week.
Okay, so we'll definitely see each other.
So you
kind of the one who's in charge. Like Paul is the overall medical director of the entire affiliate, but I kind of run the third floor, the abortion services.
Yeah. So if once we like get our relationship established, it will actually be Anne that you will be seeing more of. You have to come and play with our tissue and see if it's cool enough for you.
I like tissues.
We have a lot of it.
Okay.
See?
Okay, so more for me to keep me busy, because you know if I'm not busy, I get in trouble.
So I have 2 providers who go up to 24 weeks, and Anne is one of the providers. And I'm so sorry. Met the other provider that goes up to 24 weeks, which is Anitra Beasley.
Okay.
And Anne is the other provider that goes up to 24 weeks as well.
Wow.
So if you want more intact ones, she's the one you kind of need to talk to.
You're the one to see, huh?
I had a patient.
Yeah, like
Sometime in the past few months, I don't remember what it was. She wanted footprints, and I had a resident with me that day, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this procedure because I'm gonna try and do my best to get these feet out in check.
Right.
we did footprints and handprints, baby.
Dude, you guys are awesome. Well done.
Yeah.
Our best.
Well, I mean,
But they need like the liver mostly and the
right now we're getting a lot for liver and thymus. Liver is in short demand. Dude, like there's people right now, most of the people, like ABRs, some of our competitors, they're not even selling the tissue. They're like, oh, we'll give you an isolation. And we're like, well, why can't I get it? They're like, well, because it's in short demand right now, it's more profitable for us to isolate it and sell you the vials rather than give you the entire tissue. And I'm just like, are you serious?
It's funny because ever since, I think I remember, it was like 6 months or a year ago you told me about the proposition. And so now every time I do a DNA, I'm like, oh, there's some lung.
Yeah, you already know, huh?
Like, I'm like, because
we can do this. I'm telling you.
Down. No, I'm excited.
You told me about the proposition. And so now every time I do a DNA, I'm like, oh, there's some lung.
Yeah, you already know, huh?
I was like, where is this? I was like, where's my guy who can play
disingenuous.